Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to my deep guide. Today's video is not a review or any bit of news or anything like that. It's just more like a general piece of advice about something that I've noticed happening particularly these days, these couple of weeks, on the Supernote Facebook group. We're talking about people, scumbag type of people who are trying to scam other users out of their money by pretending that they are selling something that they are not. Now, this is, of course, not isolated to the Supernote Facebook group. It happens absolutely everywhere. It just happens that it's fairly frequent these couple of weeks there. And I've seen some people struggle with the ability to identify a scam as such. So I wanted to just make a very kind of basic overview of what to pay attention to when you're online and when somebody else is offering a sale of some sort online, how to recognize and how to avoid online scam purchases like that. There's a couple of typical scams, and I'm just going to focus on the most basic things so that can apply to pretty much everything else, but I'm going to cover the most frequent ones. So let's take the Supernote Facebook group, for example. How does a typical scam look like? Well, a pretend user that is a member of the group that typically joins the group like the day before or on that day makes a single post to that group, and he says, I am selling a Supernote for X amount of money. Usually it's not unreasonably cheap. Sometimes it is, but it's kind of within the realms of okay. It's not cheap enough to raise the alarm bell. So that's a bad point there, definitely, but it's cheap enough to get someone's attention, but it's believable. So somebody posts, say, I'm selling my Supernote, and the Supernote Facebook group, for example, is a very beautiful community, supportive community where people are trusting. And unfortunately, this is probably just one individual trying to continually scam and exploit the virtues that this Facebook group has. And unfortunately, one of the users got tricked into this whole thing, and I think this is the reason why this individual is coming back, but it's going to be the group smartened up real quick after that, and the supportiveness is beautiful, and it's these scams are kind of discovered immediately and flagged immediately, so that's a good thing. However, the bad thing is that even one person was scammed. So how to avoid something like that? Well, when you see an ad on a Facebook group, for example, the very first thing you want to check is, when did this person join the group that you are part of? And how many posts do they have and what kind of engagement it is? Most typical scams, this is going to be like the only post and they've joined within the last 24 to 48 hours. However, that alone, of course, is not an example or a definitive proof. That's just like a red flag. So once you actually have that red flag, well, then you go into that profile and you check their profile. More often than not, their Facebook profile is going to be a tabula rasa that was opened up 48 hours ago or 24 hours ago. No details, no nothing, no history, no posts, nothing. In other words, a dummy Facebook account that was created just for that purpose. Now, if you have the first red flag and then that second red flag, that's a sure enough sign that this is 99.9999999% case that this is a scam. In the 0.01% that is some kind of a freak coincidence, somebody just joined Facebook and just opened the account and just joined the Facebook group that you're a part of, well, that's highly unlikely. So that's your first thing to kind of check out, and if you see that, well, then you know fairly certainly that that's a scam, and you stay away from that person and you report them to the Facebook group admins to actually block them. Now, a piece of advice to Facebook group admins as well, because this kind of behavior can affect Facebook groups as well, which is they should do the same thing. If somebody requests an access to join the group and you check their profile and you see that they've created a profile yesterday, well, that's a giant red flag, and something to definitely keep in mind. If for some reason you continue on to interact with this person, they will reply, because there is a real person there, or an incredibly smart bot, but it's actually a real person in most cases. If you push the transaction further and further, to the point of actually being asked to make a payment, very, very often, if it's a PayPal, for example, they will tell you to use PayPal Family. Now, that is as big of a red flag that you will ever encounter for anything. And this is just like any kind of online purchase. If any seller ever asks you to pay them with PayPal Family, stop that interaction immediately. You don't owe them an explanation, you don't owe them any threats or anything like that. It doesn't matter. Just stop the interaction immediately, block that person from any form of communication, and move on. So a seller asking you to use PayPal Family is all but a guaranteed indication that this is a scam. Why? Because PayPal Family doesn't have a dispute kind of an option, and it's far more difficult to actually get your money back. Now, if you're using some alternative type of methods of payment, there are also methods there and things to kind of keep in mind, but this is by far the most frequent one that scammers actually use. Also, one thing to keep in mind, I've also seen people interacting, and so, for example, somebody can ask, like, the seller can ask, okay, so where are you from? And then you say, like, I don't know, Germany. And they say, like, oh, it costs this much. Well, if they don't even ask for a specific like postcode, a city or anything like that, well, that's also really, really kind of dubious and suspicious because, yeah, it just doesn't track that it's a valid type of an interaction. So keep your antennas out for that as well. And last but certainly not least, I've seen an increasing trend on very, very popular YouTube channels that have millions of subscribers. Scammers will basically just tell you in the comments, pretending to be official channel, whatever it may be, poorly pretending most of the time, that you have won some type of a giveaway. Well, first of all, no big channel does that at all. Like, that's simply a thing. So if you have a comment and says congratulations, you just like delete, block, done. Do not even think about it for a second more. However, if you are tempted for whatever reason, you can't resist the temptation and you start interacting, here's the thing. The giveaway is a giveaway and you do not pay anything other than maybe an import tax in your country, and that you will pay to your government when the item arrives. A giveaway from a big YouTube channel will never ask for shipping and insurance costs. And this is the place where they actually get the money. So just kind of try to keep your antennas up, and if it seems to be too good to be true, it is. It is too good to be true because it's actually false. So that's something to also definitely keep in mind. So, in short, if you're doing a Facebook transaction, check out when did the person join the Facebook group that you're a part of, what their activity is like, and what their Facebook profile is. Is it a real profile or is it just a dummy profile? Second, never, ever, 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 under any circumstances, accept or go through with the seller asking you to pay them with PayPal Family. 3, assume that every single comment on YouTube, big YouTube channels that claim that you have won a prize or a giveaway prize or anything like that, assume with almost 100% certainty that that is a scam. And 4, final one, which basically applies to anything, emails, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. Always triple check the source of the offer that is being made. Because if you do check it once, you will have a filter of being excited. If you check it twice, you will try to be objective and you'll notice maybe something. It's only from the third time and onwards checking this thing, you will notice little things such as maybe the YouTube address .co, not .com, but .co. So that's like the most typical one, the .co, that's like the like a scammer's delight kind of a thing. So always triple check your source of the offer that you are considering. Okay, I hope that you find this video and information provided here useful. To some, this may be like an obvious thing, but also there's plenty of users who don't have the long-term experience of the internet and who are simply trusting enough or maybe excited too much in grabbing this offer that is too good to be true, and then you become a little bit blinded to common sense. Well, I hope that this advice here helps you to avoid being taken advantage of by these scumbags that are trying to scam people out of their money. If you like the video, please like and subscribe and ding the notification bell in the description below to get notified when new videos come out on My Deep Guide. Also, if you like My Deep Guide and the work that I do and you would consider supporting me further, then I invite you to check out the My Daily Organizer. My Daily Organizer has been carefully designed to offer a comprehensive yet effortless all year round experience. If used daily and in a recommended fashion, My Daily Organizer, or MDO for short, can significantly improve your productivity, effectiveness, and efficiency in both professional and personal settings. Full interactivity with over 11,000 hyperlinks spreading throughout the entire document, dedicated Monday and Sunday week start versions of the document, full year calendar with access to any month, quarter, and day of the year, quarterly organizer also with access to the months and the days of the selected quarter, monthly organizer with quick links to weeks each day, and also some room for organizational and planning notes for that month. Weekly organizer is also available with access to each day of the week, and you also have one extra weekly notes page. The daily organizer side offers a daily planner page, 2 dedicated note pages, and a diary page for each day of the year, which can help keep track of your short and long-term goals. And you also have access to 99 cataloged and numbered My Notes pages, and the same thing with 99 cataloged My List pages. There are 3 different cover styles to choose from depending on your personal preference, and there's also a dedicated left-handed version of the MDO created especially for the Remarkable platform. MDO has multi-platform compatibility for the Remarkable, Supernote, and Books platforms. It can and will work on other platforms as well. Main prerequisites are that the platform has a dedicated PDF reader with support for writing annotations into the PDF and, of course, hyperlink functionality. If you would like to learn more about how MDO works, check the videos in the My Daily Organizer playlist in the description below. Or if you already like how MDO sounds and it's something that can help you better organize your professional and/or personal life, then you can buy it at mydeepguide.com/shop. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye.